Welcome class sa 7th lesson natin sa Earth Science. In this video, we will talk about geothermal energy and the different geothermal power plants. A little introduction about geothermal energy. Right now, ang major source ng energy ng Pilipinas is still fossil fuels. You have coal, natural gases, and oil. However, almost 30% of our generated power came from renewable sources. So, at ang pinaka-major source ng renewable energy sa Pilipinas is geothermal energy. Almost 45% or half of that renewable energy source came from coal. Globally, Philippines is known as the second top producer of geothermal energy. Ang una sa listahan is US and then minsan nagpapalitan sa pangalawang pwesto ang Indonesia at ang Philippines. So ano nga ba ang geothermal energy? Geothermal energy is the heat that comes from the decay of radioactive elements such as potassium, uranium, and thorium. These radioactive elements is technically present sa ilalim ng lupa natin. And aside from that, nung nabubuo yung planeta natin, nag-produce ng heat yung mga matter na nag-accrete or nagsama-sama which in turn hanggang sa ngayon nakaka-produce ng heat ito. And this is what you call as the residual heat coming from the Earth's formation itself. Another definition of geothermal energy is that it refers to all techniques used to recover the heat in the Earth's subsurface, particularly in aquifers. And if we're talking about aquifers, these are the rock reservoirs that contain groundwater. How an aquifer looks like. Technically, an aquifer is always connected with groundwater. I want you to take note that not all aquifer is capable of producing geothermal energy. Para makapag-produce ka ng geothermal energy, kailangan mo ng heat source. So we can say merong heated rock sa pinakailalim ng aquifer na to. Again, this is a heated rock and this heated rock may be heated because meron pang magma chamber sa pinakailalim. This could be a magma chamber and this one. Or kaya naman sa pinaka-ilalim pa, mayroong radioactive elements that is producing heat. So again, I want you to take note that aquifer is mostly connected with groundwater and not all aquifer contains or capable of producing geothermal energy. Now, if we are sure that an aquifer is capable of producing geothermal energy, we can say that this is a geothermal reservoir. So as I have said to you, for you to say that an aquifer is capable of producing geothermal energy, kailangan ng heat source. So in this case, this is the heat source, a hot rock. Again, that hot rock, maaaring yung init niyan ay galing sa magma chamber or kaya naman sa pinakailalim niya meron pang radioactive element that produces heat. So this hot rock will heat the water na nandito sa iyong aquifer. And itong tubig sa aquifer na to, ito ang gagamitin natin para makapag-produce ng geothermal energy. Another concept related with geothermal energy is geothermal gradient. Ano ba yung geothermal gradient? It is the heat or it is the concept that the heat tends to increase as you go deeper to the ground. Habang pailalim ka, technically, yung init or yung temperature mas umiinit. And that the geothermal gradient that we have in our planet is around 3 degrees Celsius per 100 meters. So we can say every time that you go down deeper to our ground for 100 meters, the temperature tend to increase for 3 degree Celsius. Pero depende pa rin yun kung nasan ka located sa planeta natin. Of course, if you are located dun sa places na merong ice, may permafrost, mas mababa yung geothermal gradient. The different types of geothermal power plants. We have three types of geothermal power plants. First one is binary cycle. You also have dry steam and you also have flash steam. So pag compare natin sila, i-differentiate natin yung tatlo na ito. Let's go first with binary cycle. Binary cycle first. So sa binary cycle, kaya siya tinawag na binary cycle kasi dalawang uri ng liquid ang ginagamit mo with this type of geothermal power plant. So ang una, yung tubig galing sa ilalim ng lupa natin ng geothermal power plant. Now, ang idea is that there will be a well constructed, merong balon or well that will try to pump the water out of the geothermal reservoir. So it will go here to this chamber and it will transfer the heat. The heat coming from that liquid will transfer the heat into this other liquid. Madalas, it is not a water. It is a different type of liquid na mas mababa yung boiling point para mas madali kang makapag-produce ng steam that will make the turbine rotate. And if the turbine rotated, nandoon na ngayon ang iyong power generation. Next, so after that steam, ang idea is that babalik yung steam, uh, mag-vaporize ulit para mag-turn into liquid and you will have a continuous supply of that liquid. Next, balik tayo sa water coming from the geothermal reservoir. So kapag na-transfer niya na yung heat to the second liquid, gagawin naman niya is babalik siya uli doon sa geothermal reservoir to do re-injection or reinsertion of the water. Nang sa ganon, hindi ma-deplete yung groundwater coming from the geothermal reservoir. Another type of geothermal power plant is your dry steam power plant. With dry steam power plant naman, technically you are getting the steam from the geothermal reservoir. So meron kang well para i-pump out yung steam mula sa reservoir sa pinakailalim papunta sa itaas. So ito yung steam na ito ang magpapaikot sa iyong turbine to generate power. And then, after some time, that steam will condense and that water will be reinserted to your geothermal reservoir. Next is your flash steam power plant. So with your flash steam power plant, ang nangyayari naman is that water mismo mula sa geothermal reservoir ang kinukuha mo. So pinapump out mo yon, sinisipsip mo para pumunta sa isang tangke na mababa yung temperature. So this one is a tank which we refer to as a cold tank. So that cold tank will then produce steam. Paano? Kapag nag-meet yung water napunta sa isang cold tank, yung hot water will then turn into a steam. It will vaporize. And that vaporization will then create a steam that will make the turbine turn to generate power. And after some time, magko-condense yung steam and then it will be reinserted back to your geothermal reservoir. Thank you for watching. Sa next video, we will talk about hydrothermal energy and hydrothermal power plants.